खुदा
वजीर दिया है,
वजीर एक ऑफिसर
बना दिया है,
किसी को एक बादशाह था, बादशाह भी था, नबी भी था और बादशाह भी था, कि उसने अल्लाह ताला मुझे ख्वाब में दिखा, खुदा मुझे एक वजीर या एक ऑफिसर दिया है।
अच्छा, तोहफा नहीं है, मताहत के तौर पे।
जी
समझ गया, ठीक है।
और एक जगह ये
बता दिया है कि उसके मुरीदों में, मानने वालों में वज़रा भी शामिल होंगे।
इन रेफरेंस में
को इल्हाम हुआ ना, बादशाह तेरे कपड़ों से बरकत ढूंढेंगे, उसी किस्म का है ये रोया। हाँ 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 जी।
एक रेफरेंस ये है कि लिखा है कि खुदा तुम्हारे पास आया है कि तुम कतील इधर उधर ना हो जाओ।
He says that the concept of God in Confucianism is very positive, in the sense that we have many quotations of Confucius categorically mention God and paying homage to him, and the concept of God which he presents is similar to that of Islam in many ways, although there would be other differences. Now why he has to say that is because according to some, Confucianism is not a religion but only a philosophy, and they think that Confucianism can be read to any other religion as it has been in the past in China and in Japan, etc. So it is just a philosophy which can be mended into any other religion, and it has no clash with any religion, like a civilization, you know. So the Chinese civilization, Chinese old way of life, that is described with Confucianism, and the religions are apart from that. That is according to some people.
Yes.
But the quotations which he is now referring to mention God positively. Although there are certain aspects of those quotations which cannot be understood properly by Muslims, at least the significance is difficult to reach. For instance, God came from east. Now, is he referring to the sun rising from the east, as some would have it, or would he refer to religions generally having been born in the east, as we would rather have it, you know? But this is one saying which would require special attention. And otherwise, Confucius is known to have, somebody asked Confucius whether it is, as there is a saying that you should pay homage to other gods or the ancient spirits of your elders. What would you think about that? And the answer was no, positively not. I don't want people to waste their energies and attentions. There is only one God to whom the homage should be paid, and that is God, you know. Then at another place, Confucius tells us that don't take God for granted, or don't feel safe with him. He is changeable in the sense that he can be good to the good and punishing to the evil. So he is not a constant factor which you can take lightly.
Yes.
He will treat you as you treat him, as you treat others. So if you are an evil person, a very punishing God can appear to you. If you are a good man, then a benign and rewarding God will be your God. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
So अब तक तो ये बातें आपने कही.
Yes.
अब आपका सवाल है या मजीद
सवाल है? सवाल है.
हाँ, सवाल क्या है?
So I try to read the sawal in English. Maybe
okay,
people can understand.
Yes.
Our question is this: should we prove superiority of Islam in this aspect by mentioning personal name of God by Allah and emphasizing the way of teaching of existence of God and the manifestation of his attributes from the Holy Quran, Hadith, and the books of promised Messiah?
Only wants to seek advice from me whether, because he is now our main spokesman to the Chinese people from the Islamic point of view, So he wants guidance on this subject, whether we should use these references to God and take the approach that this is all the God known to Confucius, while the God known to the founder of Islam was a much greater personage, was so full of such attributes and qualities as were totally unknown to Confucius. And he is a complete God, a God which can be required by his creatures in any way would be found in Islam. No aspect of Godhood which is essential to complement our requirements on earth is missing in Islam. And he asks whether in this regard we should quote, for instance, attributes of God found in the Holy Quran and in the tradition, and how a complete picture of God is created in Islam, which is comparatively, not only with Confucius but with all other religions, a much superior introduction of God to mankind than any religion has ever attempted. This is the question.
Yes, the question.
Right?
Yes.
So the answer is obviously yes. Go ahead and do it. This is a good way. Take all the positive aspects of God as known to Confucianism, and based on Confucius's sayings, and then enlarge upon the subject of what God is from the Islamic point of view, and make a comparative study. And as I have already suggested, build the subject on needs and complementary powers of God to fulfill those needs. So if you know only Confucius is God, then man is left without direction, without assistance from God in many fields of his interest. But if you turn to God as presented by Islam, that is the founder of Islam, then that God is comprehensive. He covers every field of human interest and beyond. So why not accept this God and be content with a minor and smaller concept of God?
उनको जरूरत भी है, क्योंकि उनने खुदा के नाम आसमान रखा है और आसमानी खुदा भी रखा है, आसमानी बादशाह भी रखा है, खुदा नहीं रखा।
हेवन और आसमान ये खुदा के लिए इस्तेमाल होते हैं दुनिया में, दूसरी जगह
नाम है। लेकिन इसके साथ आसमान का नाम भी रखा गया है। इसके नतीजा में कि बहुत लोग खुदा इनकार कर दिया, मुश्तबा हो गया कि ये शायद आज़ाहिर आसमान, इसलिए उनको जरूरत है।
He says that it is essential for us to take that approach vis-a-vis those Chinese who believe in religion, not those who are atheists, because the concept of God in Confucianism is so confusing that sometimes he is referred to as just heaven or skies. So this is why many people have turned into atheists, and religion Confucius has lost its value to them as a moral code. It is just a philosophy, because of this. So the God becomes impersonal, God becomes nature to them, because his attributes are not very clear and positive. So something should be written on this. I think you have already written on this subject in your book, which I told you to write on Mahdi, and told you to enlarge it to cover all the aspects which are required by the Chinese. Or did you write that book only addressing yourself to the Muslims?
No, for all, but only deal with the principal matters as mentioned before.
I see.
In detail, I did not mention.
So you better write something, some other articles in detail, from this point of view.
Or in Holy Quran commentaries like
good. अगला सवाल क्या है?
दूसरा सवाल ये अखलाक के मुतालिक है। अखलाक के मुतालिक कन्फ्यूशियनिज्म में अखलाक के मुतालिक बहुत जोर दिया है, जिस तरह इस्लाम ने जोर दिया है। वो कहते हैं कि इंसान ना सिर्फ अपना अखलाक को मजबूत करें, पर लोगों की अखलाक भी दुरुस्त करें। और कहाँ तक तुलसी